scary about it. But I'm not disagreeing with you in any way, shape, or form. I'm just thinking, man, for young kids,
and you're a parent, I'm a parent, but so our education system has a lot to be desired. And one of the things I'm saying is is it's making all these kids think that college is the end all be all, and it is not.
Yeah.
And so that's one issue, is that we need to try and prepare kids for different kinds of paths instead of saying college, college, college.
Yeah.
Because they're going to college, they're getting loaded up with record levels of debt. College has gotten 2.5 times more expensive, even though it has not gotten 2.5 times better. And the reason why it's gotten so expensive is because they've just gotten really bloated administratively.
And what would you do about that? Like, Bernie Sanders wants to have some sort of a
free college,
free university. Yeah, he wants to do it across the board. Have education to be 100% free. Is that something? I mean, look, I love that on paper. I one of the things that I hate is talking to my friends about college debt. Friends that are in their 30s and 40s.
It's just following them around.
Yeah, it just stays with them like a wet blanket that you can never get out of.
I used to call my school loans my mistress because I was writing a check to another family in another town. I was like, I hope they're enjoying themselves. So it's like I'm sending $900 a month to my loans.
And what's crazy is that if something devastating happens to you in any other form, you can file for bankruptcy. But you never escape your student loans, no matter what happens to you.
That was just some lobbying on the part of the financial companies, man. They just lobbied the crap out of it.
That is dirty. That's really dirty. When you think about how many people that run corporations that have racked up, just think about what happened with the savings and loan crisis.
Man.
And those guys skated. Woo!
Yeah.
The vast majority they're carrying around zero burden from that.
Yes.
The vast majority. No one went to jail except a few people.
Not really anybody.
Well, real criminals like Bernie Madoff went to jail. A few people went to jail.
That's true.
But that's about it. You'd have to be a real fucking thief to go to jail. And these people that just they did this and got away with it and profited and redistributed all this money into their own personal accounts and fucked the whole economy sideways.
Yeah, but heaven forbid you take out a bunch of school loans and then things go south. You can't get out of it.
I know a guy who's in his 50s who's an ophthalmologist who's deeply in debt still. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And if you look at it just economically, it's a massive burden on people starting businesses, starting families, buying homes instead of living with their parents.
Is it possible?
It's possible to fix, for sure. So the first thing you do is you go to the people that are currently in debt and say, look, we're going to give you a path out. And there are ways to do it. You can have a payment plan. One of the things I'm proposing is like a 10 by 10, where if you commit 10% of your wages for 10 years, then you're debt free. And that means if you're not making a lot of money, then you can save a whole lot. And the schools at this point have long since forgotten about these loans because they got paid off already. This is just these financial companies that are holding the loans.
That's important for people to understand because people think, well, if you don't pay them, then the colleges are going to go away.
No. So if you're the government, you can be like, hey, loan company, guess what? Good news, we're going to take this off. And it's a stimulus. Because like you said, we've done a lot of things that were supposed to be a stimulus, like give $4 trillion to the banks and be like, that'll stimulate the economy. Nothing's going to stimulate the economy better than getting student loans off the backs of freaking young people because they'll actually do what they're supposed to do, which is actually, spend money in the economy.
Take chances.
Start businesses and the rest of it. One of the reasons why our business formation rates are at multi-decade lows is that we are up to $1.5 trillion in school debt. It's like $38K a head. That was like $100 billion in 1999. So we've gone up 15x since then, and it's crippling us. It's
that's insane.
Anyone who thinks that's not burdening the economy, you just gotta. So President Yang will be like, hey guys, it's a stimulus, but this time it's a stimulus of people. We're gonna forgive some of the student loan debt because half that stuff was generated immorally anyway. A lot of it was just schools, lying about just to get people in the door. The second thing you do is you go to the schools and say, hey guys, why are you 2.5 times more expensive than you used to be? That's kind of weird because as far as I can tell, there's been no massive quality change. And the reason is that they've hired a lot of administrators. It has not gone to faculty. It has not gone to facilities. It has gone to just administrative excess and bloat.
Along with the rest. Now, what's going on in the universities? Well, that's pretty interesting. Since essentially the 1970s, kind of neoliberal revolution, a number of very important things have happened. Remember that U.S. higher education, first of all, from K to 12, there's been radical defunding, just killing the system. And there are major efforts to destroy the public education system. Koch brothers, ALEC, the big lobbying organization for corporations, are carrying out programs state by state, systematically, to try to get state legislatures to pass laws which will essentially eliminate the public education system, defund it, make it private, part of the neoliberal system. Mass public education is one of the great contributions of the United States. That's one of the major U.S. contributions to modern democracy. Late 19th century, the U.S. initiated mass public education, which is extremely important. Established at the, and now they're trying to kill it. What about universities? Same thing. The U.S. established public universities, which were unknown in the world. In Britain, nearest analogy, they didn't really start public universities until after the Second World War. Red brick universities, so-called. It was elite universities. So the land-grant universities were extended generally. Higher education is also under attack. Students are under attack. Students are now coming out of college with huge debts. Is that an economic necessity? Of course not. Just take a look at other successful industrial countries, like, say, Germany, most successful industrial country. Education's free. Take, say, Finland, which ranks highest in all international tests. Education's free. Same in case after case. And the same is true in poor countries. So go south of the border. It's a country called Mexico. Okay? It's a poor country. Quite a good higher education system. I mean, the teachers are underpaid. It's a poor country. But UNAM, major at university, I've lectured there, very high quality. It's free. Okay? Take the United States. Up until before the neoliberal programs, higher education was pretty much free. It was a much poorer country then, remember. We're way richer than we were then. But the GI Bill gave free education and subsidies to huge numbers of people who would never have gone to college. It was very good for them. It was very good for the country. It wasn't flawless. It was racist, remember. Almost everything was officially racist. Housing, everything else. The GI Bill didn't reach blacks because of the segregated army till too late, But it certainly was a major advance. In fact, even the Ivy League colleges were pretty much free. Actually, I went to one in 1945, University of Pennsylvania. Tuition was $100 a year, and you could easily get a scholarship, as I did. Okay, so has anything changed? I mean, then we were we're still a rich country, but much poorer than today. So is there any economic reason for the explosion of tuitions? No. Is there any reason why administration in universities has exploded while faculty decision-making has declined? Yeah, there's a reason. Imposition of business models. When you impose business models on universities, you get massive inefficiency. That's what the business world is. Administration, control, testing, and so on. Okay? So yes, these things are happening. I mean, they're not laws of nature. They're decisions, and decisions can be reversed. But to reverse them, you have to understand what's going on in the world. You have to find the sources and use all the means that are available to bring understanding to people and reverse what's going on. It's not that hard. Laws can be changed.
Next update. The Catholic University in Washington, D.C. is moving forward, it was announced, with its plan to, and I'm quoting now, enhance the university's prestige and control its costs. And the way it's going to do that is it's going to be firing tenured professors. Now, I should explain. When you get what's called tenure in the teaching profession in the United States, it basically means that you cannot be fired. You have enough confidence expressed in you by your colleagues and the administrators of your institution that you cannot be fired unless the need for your services disappears, they close a department, or there's a financial emergency, or you have misbehaved in some egregious way. But barring those, you have that job until you retire. That's what tenure means. So it's a big step for any university, such as Catholic University in Washington, to say it's not going to respect tenure and not declaring a financial emergency. They have not done that, but simply to, as I'll quote again, enhance the university's prestige and control its costs. The professors, as you might guess, are a bit troubled by this situation. Those with tenure thought they had job protection. They're being told they don't. Why the Catholic University would want to do this, I will leave to your imagination. I don't know. But I want to raise the fundamental issue here, very fundamental in the United States. Professors are excluded at the Catholic University, and indeed at most universities, from participating in the management of the university. Professors' job is to come into the classroom, teach, work with their colleagues to manage the curriculum. That's it. They don't participate in, or to be blunt, they are excluded from managing. And this raises a question, because how the university was managed by people excluding professors clearly led to the current situation where they need to enhance their prestige and control their costs. Obviously, they didn't do enough of that before. So now they want the professors to take a cut in their security because non-professors messed up their jobs. Well, I would suggest to you, you can't have it both ways. If you want professors to be taking it on the chin because, quote unquote, the university needs it, then you've got to let the professors in on all the decisions that led to this circumstance. Otherwise, you have one group of people making the decisions and another group of people paying the price when they don't work. And of course, this isn't unique to a university. It's what goes on everywhere. The boss makes the decisions and one day tells you, gee, we have to lay you off. Well, it turns out they have to lay you off because they made the wrong commodity, or they made it in the wrong way, or they put the wrong equipment into it, or they used the wrong materials, or they messed up the technology. All the decisions from which workers are excluded lead to that moment when there's a crisis and the workers are told they've got to take it on the chin too. Well, if you want the workers to bear the costs of mistakes, they have to be in on it. Otherwise, to coin a phrase famous from American history, you're going to have taxation without representation. Remember, that's what they threw the boxes of tea into the harbor at Boston many years ago. That's what the real Tea Party was about. You cannot impose burdens on us if you exclude us from making the decisions that led there to be a need for burdens. You can't have it both ways. But capitalism is a system that tries to have it both ways. Exclude the mass of working people from all the key decisions, and then make them pay the price when those decisions have been made badly. It's a profound reason why it's time to think about the basic slogan, we can do better than capitalism. Thank you very much for your time.